name is Chris. Welcome to my channel. Today I'm doing Leetcode problem 1436, destination city in JavaScript. It's considered an easy problem. You're given the array paths with paths at I equals city at I, or city A at I. City B at I means there exists a direct path going from city A at I to city B at I. Return the destination city, that is the city without any path outgoing to another city. It is guaranteed that the graph of paths forms a line without any loop, therefore there will be exactly one destination city. Alright, so this one's not that hard in terms of the code and logic. It's just a little bit tricky to figure out how to do this. But one thing we can do is we can look at these examples. Let's look at these two. So we have paths is an array with nested arrays. Well, in this case, 3 nested arrays inside of it. In this case, 3 nested arrays inside of it. According to this, the nested arrays are always going to have a length of 2. This will be starting destination, end destination. So let's think about this for a second. So with this example here, Sao Paulo will be the output. Now let's look at Sao Paulo. Does it occur in the 0 index of any of the inner arrays? It does not. If we look at New York, it does occur at the 0 index in this array, and then Lima does occur at the 0 index of this array. Let's move down here. So our output is A, right? Let's not even worry about that. Right, let's look at the elements at index 1 in the inner arrays, right? So let's look at C. So ask yourselves, does that occur at index 0 and in the inner arrays? It does right here. Let's look at B. Does that occur at 0 index of any of the inner arrays? It does right here. Let's look at A. It doesn't. Our output is A. So this is your starting point, this is your end point. It only makes sense that if the element at the end point is never a starting point, right? So if an element at index 1 is never an element at index 0 in any of the inner arrays, that is going to be our destination. So that's basically how we find it. So what we can do is we can create 2 loops through paths. The first loop will grab all of the elements at index 0 and push them into an array. And then what we can do is we can loop through paths again, and we can check, does any of the elements at index 1 occur in the array we created with all the elements in 0, right? So I'm hoping that description makes sense. Let's go ahead and code it out in CodePen. There's our variable. Just log into the console to see what's going on. So what we can do is let's create a variable called start. Set that to an empty array. And then we're going to loop through paths with the map method. And we're going to say start dot push city and 0. Okay, so what we're doing is we're creating an array that's going to contain every element of this inner array at index 0. So those are all the starting points. So if we go ahead and return start, yep, we see London, New York, Lima. Okay. Now what we're going to do is we're going to create a for loop. I like to use map and reduce and all those JavaScript methods, but we'll use a for loop here because what we can do now is we can check to see if start includes any of each of these elements at index 1. If it doesn't, we can immediately return that element. Map, reduce, for each, all those things are not going to let you return inside the loop, and it's not going to let you break the loop. So that's why I think a for loop is more appropriate. So for let I equal 0 if I is less than paths dot length I plus plus. So we're going to say if start dot includes paths at I, if that equals false, we immediately return paths at I and 1. Wait a minute, and we need to do this too. I'll left this out. And there you go. We have the result we want. Now we can get rid of this. And let's copy our code. Paste it in. Format it. And submit it. Good to go. It's nice and fast too. Alright. Hopefully you enjoyed this video. Hopefully you found it helpful. If you did, if you could please give it a like. It helps my channel to grow. If you'd like to see more like these, please like and subscribe to my channel. Thanks for watching. Hope to see you again real soon.